Olivia Newton-John is with us now. And thank you very much for joining us today. So let me ask you first of all about this little pack that you've given me. And this is the breast self-exam kit. We should preface the whole interview by saying that at one time, as everybody knows, you had breast cancer.
Yes.
And you recovered fully. And
Yes.
here you are today, looking smashing.
Thanks.
What is this exactly? Because, I mean, to examine yourself, you just use your hands, right?
Well, you can, but usually they tell you when you do a breast self-exam to do it in the shower because it's soapy and it's easy to move your hand around and to feel if there's any changes. This, you might take it out. I can show you how it works. It's really quite amazing.
This is called the lift kit,
It's called the
isn't it?
lift kit, and it actually came up. They came to show me this thing because it was being sold just to doctors' offices, and it is a little pink plastic. It's non-plastic actually, so it's not irritating to people, and it has a special gel inside. Do you have any salt in here? Because I'd love to show you how it works.
Do we have any
You can't show it
salt?
on the air, but it's
No,
difficult.
we've got sugar, but not salt, sadly.
Oh, sugar would be good.
Sugar?
I can show
Sugar?
you that. Here we go.
Okay.
Put a little bit of sugar on
Thank you, Mark.
there. Here we
Yeah.
go. I've got to show you this.
Okay, so you'll have to describe what you're doing.
Oh,
So
now
you're
fill
putting
that
some
with just
sugar
on a surface.
On the surface of the
Of
top
the-
of the where the stands of the microphone.
Right.
And put your fingers on that and fill the sugar like that now.
I got it,
okay?
yeah, yes.
Okay, now I'm going to put the kit
over the sugar.
over the sugar, and I want you to feel it the same way.
Oh God, yes.
Doesn't that feel larger?
So it effectively magnifies, probably the wrong word, but magnifies any.
No, that's the
anything.
right word.
Yeah.
It is the right word. It's not meant to replace having a mammogram or having an examination by a doctor, but because it's easy to do, it's easier to feel changes in your breast and you can monitor it. You want to feel it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't understand
okay.
why...
Fill the
fill
sugar
salt
like
on-
that,
okay,
just
filling
with
the
your
salt or
fingertips
sugar on
like
the-
that.
Okay, so Janie's feeling the sugar, and then this.
Then I put the kit over the
Kit
top of
over
the
it.
sugar. Now you feel it.
Mm.
It's in a little bag. Can you feel
Yeah,
that?
I can, yeah. So that would obviously help you detect any really tiny lumps that have
Yes,
appeared.
exactly.
But what about the fact that what a lot of people often say when they've detected problems is that it might just be that there's a change in a coloration or the size of the nipple or something. Obviously, it's not going to help with that, is it? But that's something
Well,
you point out as well.
You have to look, and we have a little booklet in here that tells you to look in the mirror and check for changes, and it's a tool to educate women to self-examine, because what I
Sure.
find is when I talk to women, even really educated women and women in my age group that should know better, they go, oh, I don't self-examine because I'm scared I'll find something. And that's very common.
The other thing, though, is that one of the problems is we aren't really taught, in inverted commas, how to
No,
do it.
no, we're not.
And the second problem is, Steve's going to need to go and have a cold shower in a minute with this discussion, but there's lots of women listening and going to know what I mean when I say, if you've got small boobs, which I am sadly blessed with, they tend to be kind of bony anyway. So basically, unless you've got really nice, great big boobs, it's quite difficult because everything feels like a lump.
No, but that's what the good thing about this is, that every woman's breasts are different, as you'll attest to, and you just have to know what's normal for you.
Sure.
And if there's a change in what's normal for you, then you go and get it checked out. by a
So you can
doctor or
use
a
this
mammogram.
every month
Every
or whatever.
month, yeah.
It's a great idea.
And, it tells in here how to do it. And I just want to help women detect lumps early, because if there is something wrong, the earlier you find it and the earlier you get treatment, and mostly 95% of the time it's benign anyway, but at least you know.
It seems to me that if you do discover something, then you have to wait, don't you, for the test results to come back. And that must have been agonizing. And then for them to come back positive, as it were, that, for you, that must have been devastating.
That's the scariest time. I first went in and I felt something. I went to the doctor and he did a needle biopsy where they put a needle into the area and extract fluid, and they put it under a microscope and they tell you right away. That was benign. And I had a mammogram, and that was benign. And the reason I say this is not to make women scared, but to make them realize that if you have an instinct about your body, you're usually correct. My instinct was that there was something wrong. My surgeon felt he wanted to investigate further, so he did a surgical biopsy, and only then did he find there was something wrong. And I had to go in and have treatment. But you have to trust your instincts as a woman. I've heard this from women before. I went to the doctor, I had a lump, the doctor said there's nothing wrong, but I felt there was something wrong, so I got another opinion. Trust that instinct, because that's what we have as women.
Did you make any kind of changes in your own lifestyle? I mean, apart from maybe attitude changes? Because, I mean, you look amazing now and you're obviously
Oh, thank
incredibly
you.
well.
It's very confronting, and literally and figuratively, because I used to keep things very much inside, and now I get them off my chest, which I think was a literal translation of my emotional body.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important. I think as women we tend to try to be everything to everyone. I went to a therapist the week it happened, and she said, you need to stop breastfeeding the world. And it was like, whoa. You know, when things ring true to you, they ring true to you.
And you were lucky enough, obviously, to catch it, and
I was.
And you had reconstructive surgery.
I did, right, immediately, which I was very lucky.
Yeah. And now, how many years is it?
13 years.
13?
Yeah. Now that I can go to another woman that's going through it, look, here I am, I'm 13 years past it, you can do it too. And that's really...
And anybody who sees you is going to say, how on earth do you manage to look so fantastic? Because if there is something we can buy that does it for us, can we have it, please?
Yeah.
Are you one of these people who eat next to nothing and exercise all the time?
No, I eat well. I do exercise because I like to. And I eat well, but I do splurge, and I like to have dessert and all those things. But I'm lucky. I think genetically I'm lucky. My parents were both slim, and my mum looked good for her age. And
I think about maybe 5 or 6 years ago you looked different, but now you look just exactly as you... I'm not suggesting anything, by the way. I'm just
I haven't
saying.
had surgery, if that's
No,
what you
I'm
mean.
not. I promised I wasn't going to ask that. But now...
That's all right.
It's because I guess you look so well. You just look exactly as you've always looked.
Your eyes are deteriorating. Did you know that?
I'm just going to take a break now, everybody. I'm going to take a break and then I'll be right back. Stay there. I've lost control of the
You should know me. I've always been in your mind. You know I will be kind. I'll be guiding you. Building your dream has to start now. There's no other road to take. You won't make a mistake. I'll be guiding you. You have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. You have to believe we are magic. Don't let your aim ever stray. And if all your heart survive, destiny will arrive. I'll bring all your dreams alive for you. I'll bring all your dreams alive for you. From where I stand, you are home free. The planets align so rare. There's promise in the air, and I'm guiding you through every turn. I'll be near you. I'll come anytime you call. I'll catch you when you fall. I'll be guiding you. You have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. You have to believe we are magic. Don't let your aim ever stray. And if all your hopes survive, destiny will arrive. I'll bring all your dreams alive for you.
Olivia Newton-John is here. We're back with Olivia Newton-John now. Olivia is here not only talking about the kit that she was talking about before the music. She's got 2 new albums. Now that's getting greedy, isn't it? Really?
2? I've got 2, do I?
Well, I don't know. They say 2 new albums.
Yeah,
here.
you've got Woman of Song,
Oh, yeah.
and you've
What
also
else
got
have I
your
got?
definitive collection out.
Oh, that's right. The Dominican
She'd
collection.
forgotten about that.
I didn't know I was talking about that one. That was a big surprise to me because they put that out in England. My manager said, "Oh, they're going to put out like a greatest hits thing." I didn't think much about it, and then it did so well that it's kind of exciting. I was very surprised.
Well, I suppose you're one of those artists a little bit like, I don't know, like the Beatles or Cliff, and you've been part of our lives each stage of our lives for a long, long time. That must be quite gratifying, really, to be part of people's...
So I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's a very nice way of putting it.
Yeah. What are your favourite greatest hits that you've had? Can I tell you mine?
Yes, please.
Have You Never Been Mellow? I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then I liked I Love You. Oh, and then I
I
liked
Honestly Love You. That's one of my favourites.
That's a great song.
It's a great song.
And I liked If Not For You and all of that. And I liked Xanadu, I thought was silly, but it's great.
Yeah, it's a good, nice, catchy thing.
And of course, who hasn't done Olivia Newton-John karaoke? You're the one that I want and all of that.
Let's get physical.
Even I do your bit. Let's get
Yeah, but you're not very good, are you, when that little ball pops along over the word? You never really
not
quite
that
keep
good.
up.
So your own favourites?
Oh, you named them, actually. I think Honestly Love You would be one of them. You're the one that I want. Hopes He Devoted to You, Sam, Mellow. John Farrar, who wrote most of my successes, and Stevie Kipner, both Aussies. Yes! I like their songs best, I think.
How have you kind of come through everything? Because you've had a real traumatic time in the past 20 years. I mean, you've had successes and you've had a few failures and bits and bobs. And at the same time you had your illness, of course, your business was falling away and the marriage and all of that. How have you dealt with it mentally and come through so well?
Everyone goes through stuff, you know. Mine's just public. Everyone goes through something. You don't escape. I think I'm very lucky in that I have a pretty positive outlook on life generally. I appreciate every day, and maybe going through cancer makes that even more evident.
Yeah.
That we're so lucky to wake up, so who's going to complain? I think I have such a privileged life that I always feel that everyone goes through something, so why should I not? Because, you know, divorce and illness are all part of life. I just have a good outlook, I think. Listen, not to say I haven't had bad days and I haven't been depressed at times. That's human. But I also have great friends. I have a beautiful daughter. I have a very interesting and fascinating life. My career takes me to all kinds of wonderful places and I meet interesting people every day. It's stimulating life, so I really don't have any complaints.
This new album you've got out, it's Indigo, Women of Song.
Yeah.
Is this all covers of other
Yes.
women's songs that have inspired you?
Exactly.
Great
That's
idea.
exactly that. I've always wanted to do an album of oldies, and every time I went to do it, I got beaten to the punch. In the 70s, I think I wanted to do it. Linda Ronstadt put out an oldies thing. Then in the 80s, I was going to do it. Carly Simon did it. And then it was like every time. And then I was going to do it this century, and Rod Stewart did it. I went, blimey, what am I going to do? So I thought,
Do it as well.
I'm going to do it my own way. And I thought, I'm going to do it in a different way. And I thought, you know what would be really wonderful would be to pay tribute to the women who... Because I actually thought this was my last album. I always think every album's my last album.
Why?
I'm going to retire. I'm always going to retire, but I never do it. There always something interesting comes up. I was going to retire in 2000. I thought, perfect. I'll start the new century. I'll just retire. I'll pick flowers and ride my horses or write a book, which I started to do. And then I got offered the Olympics, and then that kind of started everything off even bigger. But anyway... I'm digressing. These women all affected me. Like Anyone Who Had a Heart was the song that I won a talent contest with when I was 15 years old.
And
in
you like
Australia.
Dionne Warwick's version?
Scylla and Dionne. Well, I listened to both of them because they both had the recording, but I think Scylla and Dionne for Alfie and Anyone Who Had a Heart, so I put them both on the album.
Yeah.
And pay tribute to both of them because they're both fantastic
You've done a
singers.
version of Minnie Riperton's Lovin' You.
Yeah.
You should play that one. Do you hit that high note that only dogs can hear?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it for a few reasons, so you'll never know if I could have.
Tell us you can.
And also, for me, I wanted to do it my
different way,
because that's
sure.
her, you know.
Yeah.
But
Who was your inspiration for Send in the Clowns?
I put Judy Collins and Barbra Streisand both version, but the first time I heard it on the radio, which was in London, was Judy Collins. But they both did a fantastic version.
Oh, this is interesting. So what
Because
should
I
we...
wanted to fit more women on there, but couldn't. That's why I've doubled up sometimes.
Right. What should we play as we go then? What do you fancy? What should we play that's kind of...
You want to hear Loving You?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Or
Great song.
I love Cry Me a River, Julie London too.
Okay. All right, Cry Me a River we'll play in a second. What's your life like now? Because you have all kinds of businesses making stuff, don't you? You make stuff.
Yeah, well, I used to have Koala Blue that was a clothing company, and then that kind of fell apart. But this Aussie guy came to Pat and I, who put the company together in the first place, and said he wanted to do wine. So now we have Koala Blue Wine and Water. He bought the name back, and we got involved in the creative side of it, wine and water and chocolates and stuff. And I have the Live Kit, which is more the Live self-exam kit.
And can we get these things here? Can we
You
get the
can
lift kit
get
in
them
this
now. They
country?
haven't told me where, but I know that you can buy them all over the country. So I need to find out where, but
Yeah.
I know you can.
Oh, okay.
And it's a wonderful thing. And I've got a hospital that I'm helping raise money for in Australia. And I've got a lot of different things going on.
Well, it's absolutely brilliant to see you, and I expect wherever you
you.
go, everybody says, "Oh, you look so young, you look so well," but you do.
Thank you very much.
Olivia Newton-John, everybody. Thank you very much, Olivia. Brilliant to see you.
Thank you.
Olivia Newton-John.
Now you say you're lonely. You cried the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, you nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me. And now you say you love me. Well, just to prove that you do, come on and cry me a river. Cry me a river.
Oh, Olivia.
I cried a river.